So let's talk about jobs. The World Economic Forum came out with a report called The Future of Jobs. 41% of employers are saying they want to replace jobs with AI. So I thought, let's read into this. It's 190 pages. I'm going to do my best to summarize some key points in it, and then we're going to go through it. Hint, I used AI to actually summarize it for me, so it's easier to actually go through. I'm not reading 190 pages. So the main point that stood out to me was 41% of employers will actually want to replace a person's job skill with AI, and they're actively doing it. This is good news. Later on, I'll explain why. Because it's not so much the world of work is ending, the world of work is just changing. And this is going to show you or give you a blueprint as to what you can do to protect yourself. And also, if you are in the labour market or jobs market, you must understand this as a whole to realise what is a growing sector in the future and something you've got to work towards if you run a recruitment agency. It's valuable information to actually look at. So the 5 key factors that they put in that is actually going to drive the economies forward is technological change. So this might be a negative and positive impact. Green transition, so green energy and all that stuff. If we're moving to nuclear, solar power, whatever. Demographic shifts, so immigration, people from different countries, people that are actually, disabled or whatever. Accommodating those is going to be key. Geoeconomic fragmentation. I kind of know what that means, but I don't exactly know what that means. It could be that we are a global economy and now we're moving to a more localized economy. That's what it could be moving towards. And the 5th key point that's going to affect the labour market is the economic uncertainty that's going to come forward. Now, there are a lot of information about green energy, green transition. I don't really want to go through that and bore you guys with it. But in terms of trends, robotics, 86% of employers are looking at AI. 86%. So they're looking to incorporate AI either as for workers to, get more productivity out of them. It could be to replace them. Or it could be simply because they just want to make more profits. Now, this is the shocking statistic we said before. 41% of employers want to actually go through and replace their workers. So 170 million jobs will be created. That's the key part. 170 jobs will be created, million. 92% of jobs will go. They'll be gone. They're no longer relevant. And that's key because in terms of the job market itself, it just shows you the numbers that are going to be changing. And this is worldwide. This isn't the UK. This isn't the US. This is everywhere. Now, the largest growing sectors, I'm going to list, there are about 30, 40 on each one. Pay close attention because the largest growing and declining ones show you what is already declining and what is already gone. So we start with the positives. What is a growing sector? So farms, labourers, anything to do with farms is doing really, really well. Light delivery trucks, so logistics we could say. Software, again, farming and fishery comes up 4th. We'll just do top 5. And believe it or not, shop and sales assistants are growing. So I don't know, I think that's we'll go with the 6th one, food processing. So I don't think the 5th one is, I can't see it. Where are the shops? That could be just because it's taken into consideration emerging economies and they need more shop workers. I don't know. So the 5th one, the declining part kind of contradicts the growth part. Cashiers and ticket clerks are the fastest declining job. So if you work in a shop and you're a cashier, your job is already gone or is gonna go. Administrative assistants and executive secretaries. So a lot of software is coming in to make things easier for if you need a PA, secretary, etc. Before, a secretary was seen as a lady's job. Now I don't know any secretaries actually. And building caretakers, cleaners, and housekeepers. Housekeepers, I guess no one really has housekeepers. Even if you can afford them, do you really want one? Material recording and stock keeping clerks. So again, software has come in for that. even today in the modern world, you kind of see. And printing, and sixth one on this list as well. So printing, obviously, we're in a digital world, you can kind of understand that. And accountancy and bookkeeping are heavily in decline. So fastest growing, again, we can go for fastest growing jobs now. So that's sectors or as a whole. So the fastest growing sectors, sorry, not sectors, jobs, my God. Big data specialist, fintech engineers, AI and learning machines, software application and developers, security management specialists. What is that regarding IT? Everything is UX designers, data warehousing, autonomy and vehicle specialists, Internet of all things, data. The whole list is all DevOps engineers, renewable energy engineers is the 15th, and that's the only one that is the fastest growing sector. So it's basically AI database. And in terms of declining, it makes sense. Postal service clerks are declining, bank tellers, data entry clerks, cashiers, administrative assistants, so anything to do with cash. If you're handling cash, you're gone, basically. Printing, accountancy, so it's the same thing. So an accountant's job is gone as well. So 39% of workers or core workers' skills will change. So if your skills now are totally irrelevant, less than half, just under half of your skills now are irrelevant. And when I say irrelevant, you won't need them. So if you studied accountancy at university, your degree's finished. Probably if you've studied law like myself, your degree is irrelevant. There'll be AI data. We had to sift through law books. We had to use specific websites to actually acquire the information. Now I can just go to ChatGPT. I can type in what is the law surrounding this, and it gives me the law and it breaks it down for me. Even we had to sift through long legislation, thousands of pages sometimes. Our textbooks were like this. You could stack them up and it would be taller than you. Now I can literally go summarize this bill or this part of legislation and it would do it for me. So do you need a lawyer? No. So core skills. So these are skills that companies want employees to have. Analytical thinking, resilience, these are just buzzwords. Leadership, social influence is one. Creative thinking, motivation, blasé stuff. So the fastest growing skill in demand is AI, big data, networks and cybersecurity, technological literacy, so basically anyone that can do the above two, critical thinking, resilience and flexibility. So these are just buzzwords that I guess they've done a survey and said, what skill do you want to employers? So nothing really, that stands out. And again, this report is just reiterating what I've just said. 41% of people need upskilling. So they're saying we're going to get rid of them unless they actually need to be upskilled. Or 19% will be redeployed. And only 11% are actually quite safe. As in, their skills don't need any upskilling. That's probably the people working in data and all that. But the biggest issue that they're finding is skills gap. So 63% of employers said there's a massive skills gap in, as in the labour market. So they ain't got the skills they need. And that's the main thing. 46% said cultural issues. So organisation and cultural issues. Outdated and inflexible regulation frameworks. As an employer, hiring someone is a big hassle. In fact, most employers would do anything but to hire someone. So 49% said they're not interested in going from there. And again, one of the key things, strategies that they're moving forward, 85% of employers said their biggest thing is upskilling their current workforce. That's what they're going to be focusing on. So if you have a job and your employer is not upskilling you, chances are they don't care about your future. None of them ever did, but they don't care about your future in that regards as well. So one of the top things when they're being mindful when they're actually trying to find people is they want to support the health and well-being of employees. I think that's a load of rubbish. 64% said that. I think they just want to look like it's a survey from the World Economic Forum, so they're trying to come across as good employers. Again, upskilling is the main thing on that. And in terms of to improve the talent availability, they're going to be putting more funding towards upskilling their current staff, and also finding people with skills or reskilling them. Basically, that means your job's gone, but I need you to do this job, and you need to do this course or learn this skill, blah, blah, blah. There's stuff about diversity and inclusion. So a lot of them want to hire women. Women are in the workforce. So they're prioritizing that. So a lot of companies are saying 76% of companies say they want more women, and 56% want those with disabilities. 52% said they're prioritizing younger and Gen Z. To me, obviously we love women, but isn't that where the future is? The young workforce. And the least 21% said they want to hire migrants, refugees, displaced workers, and 24% they want to hire people from low income backgrounds. So, that's that's terrible. So yeah, but then again you flip it, and then 51% of employers want to fund more DEI, so diversity inclusion. So they don't want to hire people that are poor. They don't want to hire people that are immigrants that have fled war, and they basically just want to hire DEI or whatever that is, which is stupid anyway. So yeah, I think as well, AI developments are a key factor moving forward. And it's quite clear from this report. Over half of employees expect to increase their share of revenue allocated to wages. So they want to push wages up, and they're allocating budget for that. But I don't think so. I think they would have done it already now. But this report is quite extensive. I'll link it in the description. But it's good thoughts to know. If you've watched this whole video, hopefully you've taken something away from it and it's changed your perspective. Again, this isn't a solid report. This doesn't tell the future, but it could give a good indication of what is going to happen. And it's probably the best bet out there in terms of research. I wish you all the best and take care.